Hi everybody, this is Rikki-Lee from Pregnant Memories again. I've been asked to give you a tutorial on Liquify and how to reduce somebody's body size ever so slightly. This isn't a controversial tutorial. This is purely giving you the tools that you need to reduce somebody's size if you need to, if you've been asked to, or for whatever reason. I'm not going to get into the politics of whether we should or we shouldn't be. This is just a technical tutorial on how to do it. So, here is a photo of a girl that did want to be liquefied and made smaller. The way I do it is this. I'm going to go to Filter and Liquify. Okay, and that brings us into the Liquify filter. We have a number of brushes and things down the side. The top one is Forward Walk, which is the one that we'll use most of all. The next one that I use the next brushes that I use a lot are the freeze mask tools. What this does is, I'm going to click it, is actually holds things still that you don't want to be moved. So for example, if I don't want her face move, I can simply use this and know that that is stuck there forever. It won't move. So now what I can do is I'm just going to exaggerate this, I can move everything else and her face is still there. Now the way I get that off is I thaw the mask tool, so this means I can just remove it. Okay. There is a bloat tool, which again, exaggerating for everybody. We're going to the bloat tool, and you can see what that does. That's quite handy if you want to increase cleavage. See, we can make her boobs bigger. Or you can, the pucker tool, which is the opposite. So if we can shrink arms down, cleavage, all sorts of things. See that? There you go. And it shrinks and pulls things into the center of the circle. Okay. So I now need to undo everything I've just done. This is new, so restore all. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm looking at her, and I know when I was talking with her, she didn't like the size of her arms, her double chin, and her thighs. So those are the things I'll reduce. So I've got the Forward Walk tool here, the first one. Now, I haven't actually played with any of the settings here. They're just defaults. So here I go. This is what I would do. Now, the first thing to making someone look a little bit smaller is usually they carry weight around their shoulders and their neck. And the miraculous thing about this is if you just ever so slightly, I'm just going to put that freeze tool on, is if you bring down their shoulders a little bit and move their neck in, just, I'm not talking lots, I'm just talking little tiny bits. It makes a huge difference. Okay, so now I'm going to remove that. I'm going to bring up her chin. So here we go. Here is one way to reduce a double chin that's side on. I'm just going to get my brush. I'm going to bring it up. Now, obviously, we have it looks weird. You have to fiddle with it, just making small movements. Small movements so that you don't have a major, if you muck up, it doesn't matter, you can kind of fix it a little bit. Alright, so I'm just reconstructing this area just a little bit for her. I don't want to make it completely gone, but I'm going to significantly reduce it because it was a huge thing for her when she was posing. Okay. So I'm going to now click OK, just for now, just to show you the difference. So we go from open, look at that, such a difference already. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into Liquify. I'm going to work on her arms. I'm zooming in, I'm using a mouse at the moment, not my Wacom tablet. I'm zooming in with the scroll on my mouse. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing with her arms. This crease is always a huge indication of extra weight, so we're just going to reduce that a little bit. And same on this side. Okay, now we're going to just get a big brush and gently bring that in. And here too. I'm going to push that back out. Okay. Now we've got the forearm, so I'm going to do that now. As you can see, I'm making small motions at a time. I move a little bit, holding the mouse down, and then I let go, and then I do it again. Just as I was saying about the décolletage area, the top of the shoulders and the neck, if you make the shoulders a little bit pointier, but reduce them down, it can also give the appearance that they are smaller. Okay, just tidying that up. All right, I'm going down to move down to her thighs. Thighs can be a bit tricky depending on the pose. So I'm going to freeze her hand to make sure I don't touch anything there. I'm going to fix this all later. This tutorial is purely to show you how to reduce the size of somebody very gently but effectively. Alright, so we're just pushing that in, pushing. Alright, so she's got this little up there. Okay, this knee, we've got to be so careful because we've got another knee under there. So for those that are not well practiced with the Liquify tool, just keep freezing things so that you know that you're not going to move things that you shouldn't be. All right. Okay, I'm going to zoom out and get rid of all of that freeze. Alright, so we've got a little, I wish I could have the arrow tool to show you. I've got a little bump here, so I'm going to freeze her arm and all over this area, and I'm going to get that wood warp tool again. I'm just reduce the size of my brush. I'm going to pop this in. Okay. Alright, so let's have a little look. And remember there were other ways of doing this. Remember the pucker tool? We could have used that on her thighs and on her arms ever so slightly. It's just there's a million ways to do everything in Photoshop. You just got to choose the best way that works for yourself. See, I can click, and I think this bit just needs to come in a little. And let's click OK. So we've gone from this to this, from that to that. That's a pretty significant difference. It's probably a little bit too much, honestly, but I wanted to give you a tutorial on how to do it effectively, and that is effectively. I mean, you don't have to take it that far. It's your choice, your client. You do what you feel is right. Don't let anyone tell you whether you should or you shouldn't be using Liquify or touching somebody's body shape. It's up to you. Oh, one more thing. I forgot. Sorry. Filter, Liquify. Most women, pregnant women, if you're doing maternity, for example, have swollen ankles by this stage. So I'm just going to bring her ankles in. I might even use that pucker tool a little bit for this one. Just reduce the size of my brush. Just bring it in. And give her back her ankles. Look at that. Okay. So there you go. Oh, come on. Now my computer's frozen. But now you get the idea of what can be done with Liquify. If you have any questions, as usual, just let me know. Ask below. if this was helpful, give it a thumbs up in YouTube. Otherwise, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching.